everyone. Today I am here with your third book, and the name of the book is My English Reader. In this book, you have total 6 units, and each unit contains amazing stories and beautiful poems. Students, you are supposed to read this book yourself, and you have to do the given exercises also yourself. But I would be there to help you out with the explanation of important poems and stories. So let's start with the unit 1, and the name of the unit is Salivations. Now we'll take the first story. Name of this story is Hinamatsuri. This is actually name of a festival of Japan that is dedicated to girls. So in this story we have a little girl. Her name is Sayo. She is 7 years old and she lives in Osaka in Japan. Sayo is waiting eagerly for this festival to come that takes place in the month of March. In Japan, it is a special thing for each girl to have a set of beautiful dolls. Besides, we get to know that Sayo has been given a beautiful present by her grandparents, and this present is called kimono, which is traditional costume of Japanese. This costume has many layers and it's very comfortable to wear. Japanese people believe that they can transfer their bad luck and their illness into a doll, for which they have to perform a ceremony called Nagashibin that they have to perform at a shrine called Awashima. So, for this ceremony, they pray to God and they transfer their bad luck into the doll. After that, they keep those dolls into a boat and then they send that boat into the sea. This way, they believe that they send their bad luck to the god. Japanese people, they believe in Shintoism and they wear beautiful robes for this festival. Now, one more tradition they have, that before the 10 days of this festival, they display their dolls. And Sayo, the little girl, also did the same. She cleaned the best room of her house and she prepared a 7-tiered platform. And on the toppest one, she kept the dolls of emperor and empress. After that, other dolls, then some furniture for the dolls, and some few things. We get to know that Japanese people prepare a special pink rice cake for this festival, and in their language it is called Shakura Mochi. So, dear student, read this chapter and you would get to know everything about it. Now, as you got to know about the display of the doll and few more things, now we'll move forward for the next poem. Well, if you would read this poem, you would get to know that how you can say happy birthday to someone in other languages. Besides, one more knowledge is there. Students, when you go to a birthday party, you always sing the song Happy Birthday to You. Do you know that this song is actually 100-year-old song, and this was written by Mildred Hill and Patty Hill, who were Americans. So, see, we have been following a very old tradition of singing Happy Birthday to You. Well, after this poem, I want to discuss about another story. And this story is actually very interesting, and I'm sure that most of you know about the character of this story. Yes, I'm going to discuss now Harry Potter and the Prisoners of Azkaban written by J.K. Rowling. So, dear student, Harry Potter was a wizard whose parents were dead. They actually died in an car accident, and after their death, Harry used to stay with his relatives called Dursleys. In Dursley family, there were Uncle Vernon, Aunt Petunia, and their son Dudley. They didn't like Harry, and it was Harry's 13th birthday, and he came back from his school, which was a school of witchcraft, as Harry was a wizard. So Harry's 13th birthday was there, but he was not expecting anything special on it, as his relatives didn't like him at all. But then he got really surprised to see his pet, Hedwig, flying towards him with two more owls. They all brought three birthday presents for him. And when Harry opened, he got to know that one of the presents was from his friend Ron, who sent him a pocket sneak which would light up when someone would lie in front of Harry. The second gift was from Hermione, who was Harry's friend, and she sent him a broomstick which Harry could use, as he was member of his school Quidditch team. And the third gift, it was from Harry's friend Hagrid, who sent him a book, and the name of the book was The Monster Book of Monsters. Harry was really happy to get all these presents, as he was not expecting that anyone would send him anything that day. As you know, everybody feels so happy when they get gifts on birthdays. So this was Harry's happy day. And now, next we have a very nice poem. The name of this poem is My New Year's Resolutions, written by Robert Fisher. Dear students, meaning of resolution is when you decide something, when you decide that I'll do this thing in future. So in this poem, a little boy who is actually very naughty, he is thinking what he should do for his new year. So he starts with that he would not throw cat out of window, and he would not keep a frog in his sister's bed. He would not tie his brother's shoelaces together, and he would not jump from the roof of his dad's shed. So these all things, make us clear that this boy is very naughty. After that, he thinks that he would always remember his aunt's next birthday so that he could wish, and he would clean his room once in a week. He would not complain about his mother's cooking, and he would not pick his nose. He would fold his clothes, he would comb his hair, and he would use pleasant thank you gestures. He would not spit and he would not shout. So he is actually talking about following all the good manners here. Then he says that he would write his diary daily, and he would be helpful in the school also, and he would help the ladies for crossing the roads, and he would be very nice. He would not be rude with anyone. Then he thinks he would go to bed early, and he would wake up early, and he would use the toothpaste nicely, and he would stay away from all the trouble. And then again he thinks that he would be a nice boy, and he would not do the old things again this year. But then he thinks that would he really do all these things, or should he do all these things? So here the poem ends. So read this poem. I am sure that you would love it. Now, dear student, after this, one more interesting fact is there, and the name of this topic is beating the retreat. Well, you all know that on 26th January we celebrate our Republic Day. But after the 3 days of Republic Day, we celebrate something important. So this is called beating the retreat ceremony, which is celebrated on 29th January every year. So read it yourself and understand, and keep reading. Thank you very much.